It's another episode of the Pin Hype Podcast presented by Golficity. We're going to be talking about Mark Leishman's victory at Torrey Pines. We're going to be taking questions from the fans on Twitter. And obviously, we're going to be previewing one of the best tournaments in golf, the Waste Management Phoenix Open out in Arizona. So let's get into it. The lucky number 13th episode of the podcast. I'm joined here by Greg and Trevor, as always. Before we go into the Farmers Insurance Open recap, I think it's important that we talk about what was going on the course yesterday, as it was released that Kobe and 8 others, including his daughter, died in a helicopter crash in Calabasas. Yeah, I know. Helicopter crash in Calabasas. Obviously it came out on the broadcast, which was kind of weird, and you saw like everybody throughout the tournament, like all the crowd, the gallery, on Twitter, if you're watching on TV, just like the outpour of Kobe stuff going on, and it was interesting because like people were saying to Tiger Woods, do it for Mamba, whatever, and he didn't even know until like after the round that Kobe had died.
You can hear in that one, like as he's walking through the tunnel and everything, like you hear like Kava tell him, and he's like, and Tiger says, "Excuse me." He's just shocked, like he had no idea, obviously, and
then like
the whole
5
thing
minutes
is just
later,
he had like an interview
surreal
with
on
CBS. 5 minutes later, he was with Amanda Balionis doing an interview, and he was like, it was honestly the same reaction as me, like. He was just shocked. Like he wasn't even showing that much emotion because like it's just like when I saw Kobe Bryant. Yeah, when I saw Kobe Bryant died on Twitter, I was like, this shit. Like it still doesn't feel real.
Exactly.
Like, it doesn't seem like that's something that happened. Like I guess it's gonna take more like time for that to sink in. I don't know. I like went to my roommate's room. I was like, dude, like, do you see what happened? Like it's like it just didn't sink in for a while. It still hasn't.
Mm-hmm. No, I completely agree. And it's like the whole.
Like, how does this go with like the whole game of golf? Like, just the idea of like the Mamba mentality and like the whole like if you're gonna do something, you put everything into it, and that's kind of what Kobe put into basketball. And I think it resonates with a lot of golfers.
Well, especially
it resonates with all athletes, but like more specifically, golfers. Like, there was the Brooks Koepka tweet. Tiger obviously was talking about just like if there was one thing to remember him by, it was his fire for the game. Just like, I don't know. I feel like even his impact on people like Tiger like pushed him even harder too to be great.
Tiger's talked about how like one of his connections with Kobe was that they're both so connected on the mental side of the sport that they're in, that they were so good at the mental side that it just like when you think of being mentally strong in sports, you think of Tiger Woods and Kobe Bryant. Like that's where they were. And then like there's a video of Justin Thomas at the Players in like 2018, like yelling Kobe before heinous shot out of like the pine straw, I think. It's
I saw that.
I mean, this is probably like most biggest like sports influential like death and event that's happened like in a long time.
I can't even. Yeah, the last one that I can think of, like, I mean, I guess Roy Halladay last year. That was like one of those things where it's big. Like it's starting to be people that like we like grew up watching. And it's just like it's crazy.
Especially all these golfers now are like they're a little bit older than us. They probably remember more of like Kobe in his prime and everything. It was just yeah.
Yeah, they're all saying how they grew up like idolizing Kobe. They grew up watching Kobe. Like it's just crazy.
It's one of those things that like Kobe Bryant's like Tiger Woods in the sense that he's just like such a polarizing, like unique like athlete that like guys like everyday people like us don't really like see them all the time. So when they're gone, like it just doesn't seem real. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
So Just thought that was something we should bring up. I mean, it affected like the whole entire like Sunday round. I feel like
the whole world.
The whole world. I feel like everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but even on Sunday, like a lot of the players were talking about how like this round, or the announcers talking about how like this round like doesn't seem to matter anymore in the grand scheme of things.
Mm-hmm.
So,
right.
But we might as well talk about what happened on Sunday. Mark Leishman, both Saturday and Sunday, had just two insane rounds at the South Course. He shot 7 under yesterday. He was 8 under going yesterday. I think he shot 4 under the day before. So 11 under on the weekend. That's one way how to finish off a tournament.
I mean, he was in
hot.
control the entire time. It seemed like when I turned it on, he was up by 2 or 3, and then he was the whole rest of the round. He was up like by the same amount or more.
I mean,
like
Jon Rahm.
There are points where like Jon Rahm.
He had one of the most up and down Sundays. Like he started off so bad. He doubled a par 3. I'm not sure which one.
Yeah,
he does that a lot too.
The video of him the double on the par 3, like he had like it was below like the putting surface and like chipped short and then short again, and it was just a mess.
Whichever, he's been one of the most consistent golfers on the tour this season, and I just think how crazy it is that when Jon Rahm plays, you get two different golfers sometimes. You get the Jon Rahm who's just all over the place, and then you get the Jon Rahm who's like locked in. And I just think it's crazy that he has such extreme like ranges.
I mean, I was watching on Sunday, and like I forget what hole it was. I think it was. I'm not sure which hole it was, but he was putting for like a tap-in birdie, maybe 3 feet, and just like raced it straight past the hole. Like there's
he does that.
Like he probably I guess like mental lapses, I guess, but it didn't make sense.
And like once he figures that out, like once he gets that under control, because he's still one of the best golfers in the world. Like once he gets that under control, he might be like the best on tour.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
I mean,
he's 25 years old. He has plenty of time to figure it out.
Jon Rahm is 25.
Yeah, he's 25.
What the?
Well,
really?
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't know that. I just think of him as this like old man, though. Not old man.
Dude,
like I think of him as like a 33-year-old.
When he came on tour, like he won the Farmers Insurance Open.
Yeah,
I mean, he had good finishes as an amateur on tour.
Yeah,
too.
he was really good as an amateur.
I don't know why I thought that. Yeah, that makes sense now. But like, wow. So he's gonna be. The fact that he doesn't. That's crazy.
I mean, his last 6 holes, he went eagle, birdie, bogey, birdie. Like
and he on the last hole, he had a chance. I think it was 52 feet or something like that. It was 52 or 53 feet for eagle to tie it up and send it to a playoff, and I think he put it like pretty close.
Well, Leishman also buried 18 to win it too.
I know, but
I mean, let's go back to Leishman. Let's go back to Leishman for a week or for like a second. Going into the week, like we know Leishman's a good ball striker. He's always been a good ball striker, and he always will be a good ball striker. But going into the week, we were unsure about his putting, and like Saturday and Sunday, he just churned it on. He was hot with the putter. He made so many putts, and it was just like that's what got him the win.
If I'm being honest,
he only hit 3 of 14 fairways yesterday,
which is crazy because you think of him as such a good ball striker.
I was looking at 7 under.
Yeah, he was 7 under.
Yeah, that's absurd.
I was looking at his Saturday round, and I noticed like he was birdieing like par 3s, which obviously takes some good putting. And I was looking ahead to Sunday. It was like Sunday morning. I was like, "There's no way like he like does that again today." And then next thing you know, he's like 4 under through however many holes. I'm like, okay, well, this is just once I saw that, I was like, this is Mark Leishman's tournament to lose.
Exactly.
Like
So like all the questions about his putting were answered this week.
He had 3 of 14 fairways, and I think he made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 birdies yesterday on 3 of 14 fairways. And 1 bogey.
Yep.
That's absurd.
And I mean, it was going into the day. It was Jon Rahm's
tournament to lose.
But yeah, he lost it for sure.
Lost on the first like 3 holes. After that, he was like perfectly fine. It's
Like, yeah,
it's
Mark
crazy.
Leishman won it. He won it. Like, he shot 7 under on
Well,
Sunday.
yeah.
But
He,
John Rahm also
Mark Leishman.
lost
Mark
it.
Leishman deserved to win the tournament.
John Rahm shot 2 under, which, like, still, that's good day out on the links. But
Oh yeah.
unless you've built yourself quite a lead, 2 under usually doesn't get done on Sunday unless you're playing at like Shinnecock.
Yeah.
In which case you'd probably win by like 7 strokes.
Yeah, maybe.
Tiger had an interesting week. I mean, I feel like it was a lot of ups, a lot of downs. His putting was terrible.
Yeah, it
Agreed.
was.
Yeah.
The balls did not want to go in the hole like ever.
I mean, especially on the second hole on Sunday, he had the approach shot on the par 4. I
Hit the
posted on
ball.
Instagram. It literally takes one hop, spins, goes into the hole, and just like spins directly out of the bottom of the cup.
Which, whatever. It is good to know that Tiger could still play pretty well, like having not played for a little bit.
Yeah, that
So
was
he's like
that
still
was
staying
really
near the
nice
top
to
of the
see.
leaderboard.
I can only imagine if his putting was on. Like,
Yeah,
He would've been in
I
it.
would say it's a course where he's won like 8 times and like his putting's not well and he still finishes tied for 9th.
I wouldn't
And
even
9
say
under
he
par.
played that well.
No,
That
dude,
well
like,
in general,
he
except for
wasn't.
some streaks.
There was no moment where okay, Tiger's like
Well, he birdied 4 out of 5 holes at one point.
he did, but
And-
there was like
But he wasn't Tiger.
even coming to the week, you wouldn't. I don't think very few people thought that Tiger. Okay, he's coming off of a long break. Like people didn't expect Tiger, I guess, to play like that well, and he could have played a lot better if his putter was a lot better too.
Do we know when he's playing next?
Probably Genesis Open,
The
whenever that
Genesis
is.
is the next one. Yeah, I think it's
Rivieras.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
Riviera.
got the Waste Management next there this coming weekend. But yeah, and then Riviera. Riviera's the Genesis. Honda's. Is he playing at the Honda?
I don't know if he plays the Honda.
I don't think
Yeah, I
so.
don't-
You usually played at Innsbruck last year, which is I forgot what tournament that is.
We were just talking about this the other day, or the other episode of Innisbrook. I know what you're talking about.
Valspar.
Valspar,
right.
yeah.
Didn't
That's he
Didn't
plays at that usually.
he contended there last
He did. That was like that was
2
like
years ago?
yeah. He lost like he was playing really really well. I was in Europe for this. I remember this. I remember it was on a bus at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and watching Tiger on the bus, and like it was.
How were you in Europe?
It was a spring break trip for a class.
Oh,
But we were in Europe, and it was and I remember watching. It was like compete with like Paul Casey or something like that. I think. I forgot. And maybe Casey.
didn't
won?
Patrick Reed win that tournament?
He
No.
might. I might. I can't remember who won. But I
That was a
remember it's,
while
like,
ago.
People were freaking
Yeah.
out because it was Tiger's first like time like in contention again.
Right.
Paul
Yeah,
Casey
no,
won last year. That's what it was.
that was
but,
part of the comeback, though.
Yeah.
That Tiger thing. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, he's back," and that gave him momentum.
hmm
But yeah, I would say, I mean, Tiger's got a very, I mean, I think it would be a hot take to say Tiger won't win on tour this year, but
yeah, it would
he's showing he does have the pieces. He's confirming it for us, basically.
definitely.
He still can do it.
Yeah.
Rory played well pretty much all week, with the exception of some he's pretty consistent, honestly.
What did he
he
finish
had that-
third?
I think so. Yeah, he's 12 under on the tournament. He had that club twirl on day one with the 3-wood.
That was
There were some par 5s that were pretty hard to reach in too. There was
Oh yeah,
there was
Yeah.
like one of the par fives
Oh.
like 635 yards, something like that.
yeah, and
Certainly
who's the guy? McCumber? Did you guys see him at all this weekend?
is not.
His dad like works with like CBS Golf or something, and he was like a former player, and he was playing well this week. I'm not sure what he ended up finishing at, but I remember he was with Tiger on Saturday, and he was like holding his own. He hit that par 5 and 2. I remember. Finished T21. He shot 2 over on Sunday, but so he was 8 under, tied with Mark Leishman going into Sunday. So like, kind of guy that might, I don't know, just like make some noise on tour this year.
Watch out for his
Whichever-
name.
He also, what?
Well,
Watch
also
out
just
for
like
me.
this week, there was a ton of fog on the course. Like the fog delays were crazy.
Yeah, no. On Saturday morning or Sunday morning was it when it got like a
Saturday,
pretty
I
long
think.
Saturday morning. Yeah, I remember like waking up like trying to get the golf on, and then I checked the app and it's like suspended due to fog. And I remember you sent me a picture. Or
The
you
night
posted a picture
before,
on
the night
story.
before, it was so foggy that you couldn't even like see what was going on. Like you just hear the shot,
Yeah,
and they
I
like, had
mean
to like
that's
stop play for a little bit.
that's Southern California for you. I mean like
Yeah.
I lived there for 3-4 years, and like every morning like on the way to school, you'd think it's California. It's like it's warm, like the marine layer goes in. It's like kind of like misty. It's like freezing cold, and then the sun comes out and it's California again. But yeah, another two guys I want to talk about are Tom Hoagie, who on Sunday played extremely well. Also, Higgs. Higgs was playing insane. Those two guys just like kind of came out of nowhere.
I said
And-
I never really even like heard of them before I
Yeah,
watched
same
on
here.
Sunday.
I'd heard of Tom Hoagie, but like the Higgs guy,
Riggs.
Yeah, Riggs. He wishes. Higgs was like firing on Saturday. I think he was only a couple shots off the lead going into Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
He's just one of those guys. He looks like a completely normal guy. Like
Yeah, like a
doesn't
little,
look like an athlete.
I'll say he honestly kind of like has like a same like speaking of like Riggs, like same kind of similar body type to like Riggs, but
Yeah.
kind of like a little like doesn't like look like he's like a like overly like strong
Super
guy. Yeah, like he just look like you're like average like Sunday like guy you'll see on like a public course on a Sunday or something like that.
Right.
Except he
We
has
love
the
those
ga-
guys.
Yeah, except he has the game.
And then Dubai Classic, just going through that quickly. Lucas Herbert won in that, and two Australians won once again, which is kind of like an interesting trend that's going on here. Might want to like hop on an Australian for the
maybe.
the waste management. I don't know. I'd have to do my
Which one?
research on Australians that are playing.
The field in Dubai was really good last week too.
It was. You had Bryson DeChambeau hitting absolute bombs. It was like a 353-yard par four, elevated tee box kind of. He hit the green. It rolled off the green, but he hit the green with it, which is just insane. He was hitting just nukes out there.
I mean,
And you had Eddie Pepperell.
He worked out. He was working out all off season. It showed on the
I'm
President's
sorry,
Cup.
Eddie Pepperell. Like, why is this guy like just firing shots everywhere? I feel like he's in the golf like news every other week. No, just
Trying
every
to get
week.
his
I feel
name
like
out
he's
there,
always,
you know.
He's always doing something. I mean, like, I would know who he is, obviously, if it wasn't for him doing all of this. But like, I feel like I especially know who he is. He was tweeting on, I think, Sunday morning. He said, "Fully understand if Bryson wants to keep hitting at 40, as in like yards, past me tomorrow, so we don't have to chat." Which is just like, that must have been an awkward like opening tee shot. You just, like shake his hand. Hey, what's up?
He's
Like-
saying all this too, and he's the guy who hit like lost at the tournament because like he lost all the balls in the water, isn't he?
Right?
Yeah, and he
He
was.
is,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure it was
He's-
because he had like a mental like breakdown.
Yeah, and he like hit like all these balls in the water, like couldn't like that's crazy.
I'm gonna have to form more of an opinion on Eddie Pepperell. I either love him or I hate him.
I guess
We haven't figured it out
honestly,
yet.
I think he's just kind of like I think he's just kind of doing his own thing. He's having a good time out there.
I was gonna say I don't think he cares what people think of him.
I do
because,
not.
like,
Yeah, I do not care. I don't think he cares at all, one bit.
I mean, he could care less what I think of him. So maybe I do like him. I might be all in on him, but I do like Bryson, so I didn't love that shot at him. I'm not a
I
huge
feel like
Bryson hater.
Bryson's a guy that they all take shots at too. It's just like
Bryson.
I mean,
they
he-
start
I feel
taking
like
shots at
Bryson's-
somebody else.
he's pretty much a guy you either love or you hate. Like if you're a fan, or I feel like if you're even a player too. Like you either love how like who he is, or like you just like hate how he's so slow and like so like scientific about the whole game. And it's,
On
like,
Sunday, he shot a 76 because he
Jeez.
got a slow play warning.
76 because of the slow play warning.
Yeah,
Or just like-
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's pretty easy to get into Bryson's head.
I feel like it is too.
No disrespect to Bryson, but like I feel like he could be a little mentally stronger on the course, and getting a slow play warning definitely like it messes up the way you prepare for a shot. Like if you're like racing to because you think.
I think anyone in general, like anyone who
Yeah.
gets put on the clock or gets a slow play warning is gonna.
I mean, even
start
an
to
amateur golfer, like anytime like you see someone like I hate when someone's playing like behind me, just
Same.
like just up your coattails.
Yeah,
just,
like that's the
rushing
like you feel like you have to rush, and it's like it's never a good feeling at all.
especially when the person in front of you's playing slow, and the timing works out just so that like they go away from the green right when the person behind you rolls up, and they can't tell that
Exactly.
you're not the one playing slow. So it's just, but like that on a professional level. But yeah, I find it weird that like all of these tournaments, like the Dubai Classic, all these like European Tour tournaments, are getting such good fields. And I know it's because like there's like appearance fees, like you just get paid like 6 figures to just show up, which is kind of crazy. Like I don't know how you turn that down, but like
That and
they're
like
getting really good fields consistently.
yeah, that like and like spot appearance fees, like the sponsorships, and I think another thing is just like people like a lot of the European golfers, like they have like just have European tour memberships and like that like or like
Yeah.
and that goes toward like the Dubai tournament stuff like that too. Like
The race
Poulter
for
does
Dubai.
The
that.
race, yeah.
Yeah, race for Dubai. Yeah, Poulter has that. Like Oosthuizen has that.
There's some insane views at the Dubai Classic too.
Oh no, yeah, some of those
Skyline.
shots are crazy.
There was a skyline. There was not a skyline. A picture of somebody like hitting into the skyline in like let's call it 2006 or something, and then 2020, and like the skyline has changed insanely. Like that
Oh, I
city
can
like
imagine, yeah.
has popped up. It's crazy.
But yeah,
So
those
before
are
we
always
get in,
interesting.
yeah, before we get into this week's Twitter fan questions, they're going to be brought to you by our friends over at Amp Caddy. If you don't know already know what they do, they make a speaker that pretty much attaches to your golf cart. They sent us both their like small kind of speaker and the deluxe. I mean, first of all, who doesn't like bumping some music on the golf course? I mean, it's one of our favorite things to do. I feel like we do it anywhere we can, at least. And right now they're $20 off on ampcaddy.com, and you can get another $20 off with the promo code PINHIGH. That's PINHIGH for 20% off. I mean, I got these in the mail. They sent us 2. We're gonna be doing a giveaway for one of them very soon. And like obviously in Syracuse, I have no use for like an amp caddy during the winter, but I attached it to like my shower head.
Honestly, like, I feel like if you're gonna put it
use.
anywhere in the house with like
No,
not
and you
playing
can.
golf, like
I was gonna say it's not just golf. Like you can attach it
to
to
anything.
your shower head. You can attach it to like I don't know something like your living room if you're having a party. I tested out the sound. It's actually like it bumps, especially the deluxe. So yeah, that's promo code PINHIGH for 20% off, and you're already getting another $20 off. It's a pretty good deal. Go do that. So let's get into the fan questions. This guy named one of the 9,000 had a interesting question. He said, "How many points is Europe going to win by in the Ryder Cup this year?"
One, they're not gonna win.
I
Must
mean,
be a European.
must be a European, yeah. I mean, the guy last week we had was from Scotland. He actually DM'd us today, and he was talking about how his St. Andrews membership is €400 for the whole entire year.
And
Are you
we paid
serious?
like
And we-
$250 just to
That's
play
what I
Harbortown
responded.
one round.
I was like, we paid $250 to just play Harbortown, plus like tipping the 4 caddy, plus all the
Holy shit.
transfusions that we drank out on the course
Yeah,
and in the clubhouse.
a lot of transfusions.
But yeah, I don't know. Is Europe? I couldn't tell you what. I wonder what the line is actually.
I bet.
Don't
I
even
bet,
know what the
I
teams
bet
are yet.
USA.
You don't even know.
USA's Yeah, you don't know the
You
teams.
don't even
are.
know
So
the teams
US,
yet.
USA's probably like, if you had to put a team together right now, the USA would probably be favored though. That's the thing. I feel like.
I think I was actually looking at this on our book recently, and they already have it out. I feel like Europe was like minus 150, but
Really?
let me double check that right now. I got it
Hop
up right
on
now.
the US right now.
I'll say I don't think.
I mean,
Well,
the
it's definitely not going to be like
of me being on this book is not going to be that.
it's definitely not going to be like it was in like Paris, like where like the Europe's going to win by like a landslide. It's going to be like
Oh, so here's what
much
it is.
closer.
USA is minus 150. Europe is plus 135, and a tie is plus 1200.
Put all my money on the tie.
Or just half
Tie
of
means-
your money on
Tie means going to like that means the cup goes back to Europe too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
So-
that.
Well, they're playing like Whistling Straits, so I mean,
Who won
I'm looking
Whistling
forward to it.
Straits, the U.S. Open? There was it Jason Day
PGA, yeah, Jason Day.
for the PGA. Yeah, so
That
I
was
wonder
his
if he'll
first.
be on
That
the
was
team.
really cool. First mate, he can't be on the team.
Oh, he can't be. He'd have to be
Australian,
on.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So that's good.
So
That
we
on
know
the-
Jason. We know
don't have
Jason
Jason
Day's
Day.
not going to be on the team.
Yeah.
That's one thing we know. Justin Thomas, I believe, played well there. if I'm not
Spieth played well
mistaken.
there.
Spieth played well there.
That was
So,
I think that was the year that Spieth emerged. I think that was
maybe we'll be out there for that. I don't know. Wisconsin's
Ooh.
not too far from us.
I mean,
Short
it's
plane
kinda-
ride.
I mean, it's kind of far.
Fun fact, I could be completely wrong on this because I haven't checked since like freshman year of college, but I think when we were thinking about going to Yankees Indians ALDS freshman year, it was like a 3.5 hour ride from Syracuse.
Wisconsin was.
no, Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Gotcha.
And
That's
you
a-
could fact check me on that, and I might
That's
be
a
wrong.
fun fact of the day. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the actual like good question we got. No offense, but Ryan Mennett, one of our pals, sent in a great question. He said, if you had to pick a non-golf professional athlete to dedicate all their time to golf, who would you pick / who do you think would become successful?
Well,
What do we think?
I don't know. It's like it's a tough question.
I mean, when I saw this, me and Jeek both saw it at the same time. Like literally, the first thing that went to both of our minds was Kobe.
I would
Just-
say that's the
Just
first
without
thing that
even
came to mind, too.
like communicating that to each other.
Because
It was
literally, it's
Kobe.
like, all I thought about was just like the mentality he and Tiger had.
He is the Tiger of the rest of the basketball, pretty much. So
yeah. So I was just thinking Kobe could be Tiger.
I'll say
If he
Tom
dedicated
Brady.
all of his time to golf.
Tom Brady be up there too. Same like similar
Tom Brady
mentality.
is already good at golf, and I bet he has the mentality.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like even just
I'll
thinking of
say,
people
yeah.
who are already good at golf, like Steph Curry. Steph Curry dedicated all of his time to golf. He'd probably be pretty
I
good.
feel like Steph Curry like does dedicate all of his time to golf. Like obviously he dedicates time to basketball.
If he
but
wasn't like if he was like hadn't hurt his hand, I feel like he'd be playing golf like right now, just like chilling like.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's a shame.
I wonder
he won't
who
be able to
else.
He's not even playing basketball, so.
I mean, obviously we're going through guys who just play golf, but like Tony Romo.
Romo.
Who
Well,
Like
else?
even, but what about people who like don't
Okay.
play golf?
Okay, Giancarlo Stanton
Why do you say that?
You just hit the ball
That
at
guy
500 yards.
would hit the ball like 500 yards, and all he would have to do is just like figure out how to play his short game
But he's
Was it him or
dedicating all of his
Judge?
time. He probably has to figure out how to hit a golf
and
ball.
judge.
Judge.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure my cousin played golf with Albert Pujols.
Mm-hmm.
Like once or twice in Arizona, and he said that Albert Pujols, like, first of all, like the driver looks like a twig in his hands, and
course.
second of all, that like this guy just absolutely rips the ball.
Oh, I can imagine.
Okay, so I'm gonna
Probably
pick,
has absolutely no control, but he just like I bet he just destroys.
I'm pretty
the
sure he's a decent golfer too. So like when he hits it straight, I bet he carries it like well over 300.
ball. Oh,
well, I'm gonna pick if
guarantee
I'm
that.
gonna pick an athlete that's gonna be good at golf, I'm probably gonna pick a hockey player. So, and if I'm gonna pick
Yeah.
a hockey player who's gonna like dedicate all of his time, I'm probably gonna pick like Sidney Crosby.
I'll say one of the things I saw Max Pacioretty, who was captain for the Canadians.
Shout
yeah.
out New
Plays for the
Connecticut.
Golden,
Shout out to
Golden
Ken-
Knights now.
he was at we did one golf practice. I left before he showed up. He showed up at Country Club New Canaan and was like playing with like some of the players in the team. And then he was apparently
really?
according to one kid on the team, he was hitting the ball like 350 down the fairway, but just like could not hit it
Yeah,
like straight
so
at all.
Okay, so
Just
no, he
crushes
didn't.
the ball.
according to my dad, who plays in a lot of like charity outings, he used to play like the ice hockey in Harlem like event. Like all the hockey players just hit the ball like a mile. Like all of them are sick at golf because that's what they do in the summer. So like
Yeah.
if I had to pick somebody, I would pick a hockey player because that just like translates the most.
Oh no, it definitely
No,
does.
I don't know.
It does.
You're not picking somebody who, like, you're picking somebody that if they put all their time and effort into that.
Right, I understand it.
their
Yeah,
other
but I'm just
sport.
saying the learning curve.
You're picking somebody.
Shorter.
Is it?
I think so.
I don't think
Compared to compared to a sport like basketball, like where you don't have any movements, all hockey players are good at golf for some reason. I don't know why.
I
guess
feel like
that's
not all.
I feel like
of them,
that's
but
just
they're all like
because
A lot-
it just,
a lot
it
of
just
them.
it translates
The
well.
the
but
hand-eye
like,
the hand-eye coordination and like the
it's
slap
easier.
shot and
It's
like hip
yeah.
rotation is like very similar.
It's
Connor
if,
McDavid.
if you play golf, if you play hockey, it's easier. There are a lot of like good golfers and probably like good hockey players are growing up too. Not like probably.
Probably. I
Mhm.
bet Brooks Koepka. Actually, Brooks Koepka played baseball.
Yeah, he probably would play baseball.
Anybody else?
Um,
I think that does it.
thinking like pitchers in the MLB. I don't know.
Oh, because pitchers like
Yeah.
CC Sabathia maybe.
Oh Jesus Christ! Imagine him walking down the fairway.
Mariano Rivera, like he spent all of his time doing a cutter. What if he just
There-
spent all his time playing golf?
This has absolutely nothing.
Derek
or
Jeter
not
making
absolutely
making
nothing to do with it.
making good contact with the ball.
This is kind of off topic, but I was in my sport marketing class today, and we're in groups to market like a player that we make up, and me and my group basically made a guy who's going to be the next Tiger Woods. And listen to this. His name's Maverick Williams, nickname the Dark Horse.
The dark.
Does
horse.
he use a Callaway Maverick?
Oh, dude, you just gave me a great idea. I'm gonna have to jot that down. We're gonna get an A on this
See,
project.
I'm an advertising major. I know this stuff.
He's from Augusta. He's from Augusta, Georgia, and his
course.
dad was the head groundskeeper growing up. So he got a sponsor's exemption into the Masters, and he won. And that's what we're going off of. and he gets the nickname Dark Horse because he was the dark horse in that tournament. And Maverick is a horse
And a golf club.
and a golf club.
More importantly, a horse. But yes, that's a very
Just had to
interesting.
share that.
Very interesting idea.
Just some other PGA Tour news before we get into the waste management DFX picks. Jordan Spieth fell out of the top 50 world golf ranking, which is just like, I feel
I
like
think
that
it's the first time in
caps
6
off
years.
it just
6
caps
years.
off like Jordan Spieth's
Downfall.
downfall. Yeah. I mean, I think he can still come out of it, but I really hope he doesn't become one of those guys that just like did insane early in his career and just ran out of gas.
I mean, I feel more than anything, I want to see him back on top of his game. Like I love everyone loves Jordan Spieth. I feel like
I love
like
Jordan Spieth.
him seeing him back on top and like playing with like imagine like that was a dream a couple years ago watching him play like on a final round on Sunday with Tiger at the Masters and like people are like now we might not be able to see that or someone.
Well, I'm
he
also
helped
thinking
carry
that the
over the
game.
momentum from Tiger's
Tiger.
absence.
But I'm just saying the game of golf
Yeah.
right now is more competitive than it's ever been before. And
Oh, yeah,
like,
obviously.
having Jordan Spieth at like the Jordan Spieth level of like 2010 or whatever, now would be insane. Just seeing him compete with all these other people.
Yeah, it's like
Do you
I
think-
feel like everyone from 2013 that was playing well at that time is still playing like really well. Like it's like Rose and DJ and Rory and all them.
Yeah.
And then Spieth's just like the only one who's really fallen off, I guess, which is kind of like I hate it so much. But
Do you
I don't
think
know.
that the game being as competitive as it is right now makes Brooks Koepka's like major dominance like all that more impressive?
yeah,
I
think
mean,
it
yeah,
does.
definitely. I mean, he just locks in for the majors though, because like the thing is when Tiger was dominating in every event he played in.
Week in and week out, yeah. He's really
Every
half-
week. I mean, Brooks Koepka dominates majors, and that's very impressive, and that's something that should be noticed. But
Well, if Brooks Koepka wanted to
doesn't like
dominate
golf.
any tournament, if Brooks Koepka wanted to lock in for like any tournament he could lock in. Like
I don't know why he doesn't do that.
play.
He should do that.
I don't know why. I mean, like you say, he doesn't like golf that much, honestly.
I wonder when's
Those
he
are his
back?
words. What?
When's he coming back on tour?
Well, he played
Honestly.
he played in Dubai, or he played in one of the
I saw
Dubai
that,
events 2 weeks ago. So probably soon.
He'll
Where's
probably
he
be back for like the start of the Florida swing, maybe.
Right. Does that start
Yeah,
off
sorry.
with Honda? The Honda?
I think that's
Honda's,
a Honda.
yeah. Honda's at February 27th, and after that, it's like Bay Hill,
Bay Hill,
Players,
yeah.
Valspar.
Actually no, you'll probably see Tiger at Bay Hill.
Oh no, you definitely will see Tiger at Bay Hill.
So that's a good
100%.
tournament.
Was Bay Hill the one you caddied or not caddied?
I did,
caddied
yes.
for your dad. Yeah.
And
who was he with?
Tiger's won
Saunders?
Sam Saunders, who's Arnold Palmer's grandson.
Even though he's like notable mostly because of that, like he's a pretty good golfer.
He's not bad. Oh, he finished like T17 last year at Bay Hill,
Yeah.
which is like course growing up, but still,
Yeah,
he's
still.
I mean, he's not bad at all.
All right. Do we want to move on to the DFS picks for the Waste Management Open?
Yeah. Course preview.
All right. Our course
That's all
preview
me.
correspondent, as always, we're gonna have to get a sponsor for the course preview.
Really, we really are.
Weather.com.
Yeah, weather.com, John Deere maybe. John,
Hey,
this
no,
one,
no
yeah,
free
no,
ads.
actually,
No free ads.
For now, it's presented to you by weather.com. Go ahead, Jeek.
All right. So this week we have the Waste Management Phoenix Open, one of our favorite events of the year. It's at the TPC Scottsdale Stadium course, which is 7,261 yards and plays as a par 71. It's Bermuda grass, and some fescue in the rough. That's important, I guess. It is one of the shorter courses on the PGA Tour, so big swing from last week being pretty much the longest course on tour. We're going to one of the shorter courses this week, and every single par 5 is reachable in 2, which means par 5 scoring is going to be important this week. It's like on the 46 or so PGA events last year, whatever it was like right in the middle of course difficulty. It has very large greens, and the greens do play a little bit like faster. So the greens are easy to hit, but you have to be more precise of where you're hitting the ball. It could, for longer hitters, it could be a big week for driver, like the driver wedge combo, where you hit a driver, then you hit a wedge, and then you're on the green. Key stats that we highlighted for this week are strokes gained approach because of the bigger greens, opportunities gained, birdies are better gained. Like I said before, strokes gained par 5s, and then also proximity gained 150 to 175 yards for some of the shorter hitters, and strokes gained around the green. I mean, like I said, both long hitters and short hitters have done well in Scottsdale, so like there's no preference on who to pick. The last 4 winners were Ricky Fowler last year, Gary Woodland the year before that, and then Matsuyama 2017 and 2016.
Is he in the field this year?
He is in the field this year.
Yeah.
Some course horses to put out there. Ricky Fowler usually plays well, and he won last year. And like I said, Matsuyama, 2-time winner. And also John Rahm has 4 top 20s in all the times he's played. He also had a T5 in this event when he played as an amateur, and he's never finished worse than T16. And he also went to ASU, which is close by. And then other players with multiple top 10s. Matt Kuchar, Brandon Steele, Jordan Spieth, Gary Woodland, and our guy Ches Reavie. And then 17 in the last 5 years, 17 of the 24 players who finished inside the top 5 played the week before at Torrey Pines. So that's the course preview.
Good job, Jeek. That's a lot of information to
it is, yeah.
To
digest. Yes.
Digest, yeah. So I mean, we'll basically digest that for you by giving you our picks with that information. But before we get into our picks, last week we did pretty well actually. Jeek did pretty spectacular.
Very well.
Yeah, Jeek with the Finau pick. I had Finau like plus 2,800.
I mean, the strategy for me last week was to take long hitters and ride with that. So that's what I did. I took Tony Finau, who finished T6 at 10 under, and Cameron Champ, who finished T16 at 7 under. both two of the longer hitters on tour. So
Yeah, and
makes sense.
I mean, I had Carlos Ortiz as one of them, who I actually honestly didn't. I thought that was like a great value pick, but he ended up getting cut. Didn't do much for you. And he really stunk it up. He didn't like barely miss the cut. He like that wasn't good.
Really
But Ryan
missed-
Palmer and Ryan Palmer, like that's just unlucky. He had a 10 under round on Friday, which honestly that probably got you a ton of points because he had birdie streaks all over the place, and
even on Saturday.
And he was 5 over on Sunday with
He
a
was in the
T21.
race for it going into the last day, and then he just had a
He
terrible.
was going into the race, going into the back nine.
Wasn't he?
Yeah, he was going to the race, going to the back nine of the Sunday. So that's just unlucky for that to happen. But
nevertheless, he still finished T21, so that's pretty good.
yeah, no, that's still a good pick, especially for his value.
And we don't have to talk about my picks too much because Sky Scheffler got cut, Cameron Smith T64, so we can just move on from that.
We're gonna
And
forget.
As a whole, though,
I will bounce back next week.
I think we did well.
I mean, have we picked somebody in the top like 7 every week? Like
Pretty sure we have.
as a whole of us, and we've had like multiple top 20s.
Well,
So
I mean, I
yeah.
feel like at least
our picks combined have been pretty good.
one person. We have 3 top 20s this week basically, and then I feel like every week at least one person has 2 guys like you had this week, Jeek, like T6, T16. So we've been very consistent.
I'll say I feel like every single week it's at least 3 or 4 guys who are top 20, even better, and then after that, like usually like 1 or 2 guys miss the cut. That's pretty much like it.
And
This
then
week we're
just
getting a winner.
little shout out to the Golf City guys. They had like the Golf City premium picks, which cost what $8 a month for 4 tournaments basically, which is great value. They had, what's the guy's first name? Matthew Neesmith, who finished T30, but he was like contending for some of the tournament, which is
Well, I think
crazy.
they also had Mark Leishman on their like sleepers list. So, and he won.
well, there you go.
So if you're in the business of making money,
Say in the business of making money.
It cost like a cup of like 2 cups of coffee a month, so and you're gonna get that return. So who wants to go first?
I'll go first this week.
Trev. Okay.
First pick, I'm going to continue on the trend of me taking everyone's picks from the week before, and I'm going to go with.
I apologize for the sirens going off right now.
That's okay.
It's gritty.
But I will go with Tony Finau at 9,600. T6 last week, like Jeek said, players play well at Torrey Pines, usually play well at Scottsdale, and he hits the ball a long way, so you know he's going to be hitting most of his par 5s and 2. He hits 71% of the greens in regulation, and he also is 5th in strokes gained around the green. So, and as Jeek said, that's one of the bigger stats this week. And with his ball striking and his strokes gained around the green, I think pretty good bet to finish. I would say even top 10. Like he's on form,
yeah.
He's playing well. He's usually always around top 10, top 20.
Right, yeah,
very
he's
well.
been
I was
playing
gonna
well
say
this year.
he's
Always.
the king of the solo second finish.
He hangs around. You see him make a little run on Saturday, and then you're like, oh, Tony Finau is back again. And he just doesn't you don't really see much of him, but he's always right there.
Dude, Tony Finau is gonna be treating those par 5s like par 4s this
I would say he's gonna be
this weekend.
in Arizona. He's gonna be bombing. He's gonna be absolutely bombing the ball.
Yeah, no, he's back on his game too. Like he had a little bit of a like off period, but he's like back in the top 20 like every week.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll go next. My first pick this week is gonna be Victor Hovland at 8,400. Just going through the stats, his total strokes gained, he's 5th on tour this year, which is kind of crazy. And strokes gained approach, which is an important stat this week because of the big greens. He's 7th, and strokes gained putting, he's 9th. So those are like pretty big stats, I would think. And he's made 4 of 6 cuts this year. He played in Dubai last week. I think he finished 2 under, which I think was like T20 something. He's one of those guys that I see that has the ability to like just go in birdie streaks and get low. So I don't know.
I mean, what do you
Victor
have, like
Hovland's-
straight, like over 20 straight rounds in the 60s over the summer.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Victor Hovland's a good bet this week. He didn't play at Torrey Pines last week, so like I'm kind of disregarding that last stat. But like just looking at the stats and looking at the course, I think this is a good week for Victor Hovland.
I mean, who knows? Maybe he can pick up his first PGA Tour win too. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw him win this.
I
this
honestly would not be surprised at all if Victor
No.
Hovland came out of this with his first.
I mean, I think it's
uh,
just crazy that he's like top 10 in some of the most important stats like on tour this season.
Yeah, and I obviously knows how to contend with those guys. He played well at the U.S. Open last year, and he's played well at a bunch of other tournaments last year as well. So
I think Victor Hovland's going to be one of those guys that just churns out top 10s and top 20s throughout his career, just like so consistently.
I would love this. He looks like the nicest guy in the world too. I would love to see
He
this.
Would love to have him on the pod.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's like
Victor, if
our age.
listening.
Yeah,
I
he's
know.
like 21.
We're starting to get in that age where people are doing things that are like our age or like younger than us, and it just feels really, really weird.
Yeah, and you're like, how come I'm not doing that?
Yeah, like Zion Williamson's like 2 years younger than us right now. I'm pretty sure. Not
Is
fair.
he? No, he's like
Or yeah, he's like a year, but he's like RJ Barrett was drafted at like 19 years old.
which I'm not doing
Crazy.
those things.
You know. Never mind.
So I got Ches Reavie as my pick, our guy at 8,300. The salary's like about what you'd expect for a guy who's like T4 last year, solo second in 2018. He drives the ball accurately at 72%, which is 14th in the field. Yeah, so I mean, like I feel like Ches Reavie, he plays good desert golf. I don't think you can ask for much more than that.
If you're going with a
Course
course horse this week, Ches Reavie's a course horse that hasn't won yet, so could be a good pick this week.
T4 and second back-to-back years. That's pretty good. Pretty good
Exactly.
sign of what could happen.
I feel like he's one of those like if you're in like the 82, 8,300 range, like that's like your mid-tier pick that you complement with like Tony Finau or Justin Thomas or John Rahm.
Yeah.
You're up again.
Oh, me
Next
again.
pick.
Oops, my bad.
You always
I'm
screw it up.
Snake draft.
I'm so bad at snake drafts, dude. Anyway, Tom Hoagie at 7,400 is like honestly like I feel like you have to put this into your lineup. He's T5 this weekend, and as you said, guys who play well at the Farmers Insurance play well here. T6 at the American Express, scoring average 23rd, 25th in par 4 birdie or better percentage. I mean, the guy's on a hot streak, and at 7,400, like that's like literally you could fill out your lineup to be a guy like John Rahm or something, or one of those guys, Tom Hoagie and Ches Reavie. Like that, you're just picking off tiers here that could complement each other.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I'm gonna stay with that theme in the same tier as you. I have Brandon Steele at 7,500, so like 100 more than him. He has multiple top 10s at this course. I think he had a T3 in 2018. He has played well this year. He had a solo second at the Sony Open like early in the year. And one stat that I saw that was like that could be important for this week is he's 6th overall on the tour this year in proximity to the hole. So for big greens, proximity to the hole is important because that's how you make putts. And like I mostly picked him because a lot of his other stats like aren't that great, to be honest. But I did pick him because of his course history, and the salary is just like too good to be true, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
I think Brandon Steele is a good value pick this week.
And I'll go off that. I'll stay in the same salary range. I'll go with Emiliano Grillo. He's top 20 on tour in stroke gain on the approach shots, which, as you said, is a very, very important stat. And second in the field in greens regulation. And he's might not be playing as well as he would hope to this year, but he's finished right around T20 all year. And this could be the week based off of his greens and regulation, his strokes gained approach, that really makes a little jump up to inside the top 20 or maybe even like top 10-ish.
There you go.
Agreed. All right, so those are our picks for this week.
He barely missed the cut this past weekend at the Farmers Insurance. I think he
Yeah,
was
I
like
think he
right
did,
on the
yeah.
cut line.
What
So, I mean,
was the cut this week? Like even?
it was it -1 or even? I forget.
was-
It was either
it was-
one under or even.
He was right at even, so he barely missed it.
And a little sleeper I'll give you, just like, just for food for thought. Doc Redman. He was like, I think he was the USAM winner, like 2018 or something along those lines. He's only 6,600. I saw him play a bit this weekend when I was just like watching some random golf. I saw some good things. So maybe just like a little sleeper pick.
And I'm gonna say if you're gonna pick one of the like top tier guys, like guys at the top of the lineup, like I think John Rahm has to be your guy this week. He's been playing so well, and like he just plays so well at this course. Like he's got to be your top guy if you're gonna pick him this week.
He loves
the only
his place, and fans love him too. So
I mean, like the only like reason to pick John Rahm is if he wins, which he like very easily could win. So
yeah, definitely.
And I feel like it would be bad if we did not mention the 16th hole before we move on to our part 3. I mean, like
hole in golf.
most electric hole in golf. And do you see
I will
Max
say
Homa and Dahmen made a bet before they were grouped together on Sunday.
The bucket hat bet.
The bucket hat bet. And I don't think it ever came out what Joel Dahmen has to do. Homa, if he lost, but he didn't, he shot 5 under on Sunday. He was gonna have to wear a bug hat at 16 at TPC, the 16th hole. But I don't think it ever came out. He asked the fans what he should do. I'm trying to see if he.
What do we think?
Yeah, I mean that's a good question.
Wow, that's
he has to have. Okay.
I think she got there and wear like a rival jersey of like an Arizona sports team or something like that, and just
how
get like
about
booed
this?
or something like that.
Oh, that'd be
on
funny.
16th hole.
But I feel like he should wear a James Harrison jersey.
Yes, that'd be
Super
perfect.
Bowl.
James Harrison or
like
like Russell Wilson or something like that, or I don't know.
Because I feel like if you're an Arizona sports fan, you hate
James Harrison
for that return.
Yeah, I think you definitely do.
A good one is that you give Max Homa the right to like have like first you'd have to be paired with him, but you have to give him a microphone and all the speaker system, and he just gets to roast his swing as he's
that'd be really good.
Max Homa swing roast.
You should tweet that. That'd be
if they're not grouped together, like they should just like play that on the speakers.
They should. That'd be so awesome. I would love to see that.
I'm tweeting at him right now with 2 suggestions. I can do this after the show, but we can move on. But hopefully he responds, and that'd be kind of funny if we actually got them to do one of those things.
I will say though before we move on
publicity.
To part 3, I played this course when I was 15 years old. I hit it on the green on 16th hole. Not gonna lie.
I think you would have gotten booed for your 3-putt though.
3-putt would have been I would have been booed for, but I hit it on the green, which might have been at the time the proudest golf moment in my life. So
I think Pat and I will play there once at least.
I mean, anyone could play there. The courses.
It was potentially a winter break plan. So we'll see.
Yeah, maybe next winter break we'll take a trip out to Arizona. Hopefully we have some podcast money by then.
Yeah, I'll make the trip out there with you guys too. Don't worry.
Yeah. So let's move on to the par 3. We got your dream foursome of non-golf athletes, though. They have to be athletes. You can't like pick like Jimmy Fallon or something.
Yeah, or like retired athletes.
Or retired athletes.
Yeah, athletes are retired.
Who wants to start? Let's go with G.
I guess I'll start.
First.
I have one. So my first one, I'm gonna go Peyton Manning. Just thinking about like an entire round of golf, playing a round of golf with somebody, you really get to know somebody during that, and like I would love to pick Peyton Manning's brain like throughout an entire round of golf, just like because I'm a football nut, just because he seems like a very personable guy, and I don't know, I'd love to pick his brain.
You can go next, Trev.
I'll go with Shaq, just because he'd be so funny, and he'd have so many stories on like him and Kobe, him and Barney Hardaway, him and LeBron, inside the NBA, like NBA on TNT. The amount of stories he'd have, and like he'd be so funny, it'd be awesome to play with. I think it'd be so much fun. I wouldn't care if he's doing like bad at all. I would just walk in the fair with him for like hours and just listen to him talk. It'd be so cool.
I think for mine, so I got 2 in a row here.
Yep.
I think they're going to be 2 pretty good ones. First, we're going to go with Marshawn Lynch.
That was me my next one.
Okay, let's go on.
That was really fun.
I mean,
him
you
playing
can just
golf
go to
would be so fucking funny.
you can just go to the
So
clip of
funny.
him with the golf cart at Cal. That's probably what it
Yes,
would be
exactly.
like.
Yeah.
That's probably what it would be like out on the links.
Oh my
Don't know
god.
where we're playing, but I don't think the clubhouse would be
Think
too
about that.
happy
I
about
was
that.
I was just thinking of him like just like he would do whatever he wants on the golf course.
Oh,
Like, he'd
yeah.
not give a shit about anything.
You got to have like a water cooler full of Skittles on the course.
Yeah.
You got to accommodate to our foursome. And I'm gonna pair that with Charles Barkley. I feel like we would just have
That was one of my.
One of mine too.
time out there. Me, Chuck, and Marshawn Lynch out there. I'm gonna have to go through my list to see who the 4th is gonna be. But with that swing, with him roasting Marshawn, probably it's gonna be good. Hopefully, it would be funny if you were playing with Charles and Shaq. They would just be roasting each other. The whole time.
That's what I was gonna do. I was gonna pair with Charles and Shaq, and I was gonna do Marshawn Lynch as my 3rd.
I'm sorry for ruining your foursome.
Imagine
I still haven't
amazing.
thought of my 3rd yet.
I have I have a good second one to go right now. Chad Ochocinco is my second one.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Again, they're just funny, crazy guy. Probably will do whatever he wants on the golf course, and him and Shaq would have a good time, and just listen to them talk and like do whatever they want. I feel it'd just be so much fun.
Oh my god, I have my 3rd one. Okay.
So I picked Peyton Manning. So now I'm gonna pick Eli Manning. Make it really competitive between the two of them. I just want to. I think of like the ESPN commercials where like they're like fighting and like.
It's a good
Have
one.
you seen the video of them playing knockout at Cameron Indoor Stadium and like they're like
Yeah.
That is the funniest video ever.
That's a good one.
Do I have another pick now?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess.
Yes.
So my 3rd pick is gonna be Jim Harbaugh. My 3rd pick is gonna be Jim Harbaugh. I'm gonna make this the most competitive thing ever.
Jim Harbaugh. Oh my god, I didn't even think about
So it'd be me, Jim Harbaugh, Eli Manning, and Peyton Manning out there just competing.
This one's
that'd be interesting.
Mine is I just thought about this one. This would be nuts. I'm gonna go with Bill Walton as my 3rd.
Oh my god. That's such a good addiction.
You would get tired of Bill Walton after 4 hours.
Oh, I feel like after the first hole, I wouldn't want him to speak anymore. But that first hole would be legendary. Like it'd be unbelievable.
He'd probably come up to you after like on a roller down a hill. He's like, "You gotta pound this one into the Pacific Ocean if you don't."
He would do so many crazy things, and Chad and at this point Chad Ochocinco and Shaq and like in the same group would be like what is this guy doing? Like what's going on?
Chad Ochocinco would be like his reaction would be so funny.
It'd be amazing. I can't believe I didn't think about that first. That would have been oh my god. But he would be legendary to play golf. I would if I could sit down with him for 5 minutes, I'd be happy. All I think of was him as the
5 minutes.
Him with the like Pardon My Take interviewed him, and might have been the craziest interview I've ever heard in my entire life.
He went all over he wasn't even like answering the questions. It was so funny.
Yeah, and him doing college basketball. He's like what are the 3? Can you name the 6 countries that border Ethiopia?
And he named them all.
He named them all like right off the
never
bat.
heard
Like,
of.
it was it. And like there's so many funny videos of him. He's something else.
I'd love to see his search history.
Oh my god, yeah.
Just like what is he looking up? He's probably just like enjoying looking up some like 1940s like cinema.
No, his background on his computer is probably a picture of the Pac-12 logo, the Conference of Champions. That's what we'll do. But
yeah,
he's the funniest guy I've ever. People hate him commentating, but like on college basketball, but I think he's hilarious.
He commentates at 10 p.m. on like a Tuesday night.
Yeah,
who cares whether he's like that?
Exactly.
If you're watching at that point, like you're watching for entertainment, like.
And he's entertainment for sure. So.
Oh yeah. All right, my last one.
Yeah.
It's a little outside the box. Is he an athlete? Sure. Is he a professional athlete? Maybe not. We're going with Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Okay. I think you just broke the rules, but
Yeah, I think you
okay.
can break the rules, but I'll allow it. I don't
is Bill Walton a 2-time, 3-time, 4-time, 5-time, or whatever it is, celebrity game MVP?
He is. You're right. He's not a celebrity game MVP.
He's
That's
I couldn't tell you
I
the
mean,
direct accolade.
you could have picked like anybody, but
Oh,
Kevin.
it's a
No,
select few.
Kevin Hart would
Kevin
be a
Hart
lot of fun.
had a monopoly over that award for
He
years.
did. He definitely monopoly over that award.
okay, I still think
yeah,
you're breaking the rules by what you have
Think
it.
about this. Okay, well, you broke the rules when you picked a hybrid after I picked a hybrid in the par 3 in like that.
Well, no, but
challenge.
I picked a different hybrid.
Okay, I picked an athlete.
Different kind
There's
really.
nothing about professional athletes. There's nothing
So
about professional.
I guess you could have picked yourself
Anyway.
too.
Yeah, I could have. If you consider me an athlete, thank you.
Is Pat an MVP though?
I'm not. So like he's got the accolades on me.
He does.
But Marshawn Lynch, Charles Barkley, and Kevin Hart.
That'd be
I wouldn't be able to complete the round. I'd just be like dying laughing the whole entire time.
Yeah.
Such a good dynamic.
Any honorable mentions?
Yeah, Coach O.
Coach O. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
I think Coach O would make me hit the ball like 315 maybe, like average.
Yeah, he'd hype you up.
Adrenaline would be
Coach O.
going on that one.
I would say Tony Romo would be. I think it'd be awesome to play with Tony Romo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like the knowledge and the stories. Like I just want to hear some stories out there. Like that's what I want to hear. Michael
I mean,
Jordan,
going back to what we were saying earlier, I put
Kobe.
Giancarlo Stanton kind of just
Oh,
say what
yeah.
he can do.
I put. I put
Ryan
Kobe in there,
Ryan
but
Whitney.
Ryan Whitney.
Yeah,
Whitney.
Ryan Whitney would be fun. That'd be a fun one to play with. Yeah, he'd probably call you a pigeon like every other second though.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Who
I'm trying to think
else?
who else.
Larry Fitz plays a lot of golf.
I'll say Larry
I
Fitz,
just-
Ray Allen's up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Steve Nash would be kind of cool.
I wonder if we could get. Oh, Steve Nash is my favorite athlete of all time. Should have put him on there.
Yeah.
I wonder if we could get Larry Fitz on. My cousins played. I think my cousins played golf with him like a few times.
I'll hit up Zowen.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that kid probably hits it like a million miles.
We'll get the Zowen Kyler Murray podcast.
And then add Larry Fitz on there. You got the whole
Yeah,
Cardinals.
exactly.
Arizona Cardinals, official NFL team of the Pin High Podcast.
Maybe.
Dwight Howard would be fun to have out there too. That'd be. I mean, he would suck at golf, but he would.
Dwight Howard, I can imagine just swinging like a fairy. I don't know why.
If you haven't heard, no free ads, but if you haven't heard the Power My Take interview with Dwight Howard, it was over the summer. Might have been the funniest interview I've ever heard in my entire life. It was hilarious
Wasn't he really high?
the entire time.
Yeah, I was
It
gonna
was
say.
so-
I'm
was
pretty
so-
sure he was
it's-
fake.
But like I realized like I heard him speak like the other day and like he was talking to I think it was like Contavious Caldwell-Pope or something like that on the sideline like of a game and maybe that's just like how he sounds because he's so like enthusiastic and so funny.
I'm pretty sure
He
it's
has,
it's like noted though. They were like, yeah, he like said he was like really high.
yeah,
the whole-
which doesn't surprise me at all. But
Also,
he was so funny,
with the Super Bowl coming up this weekend, I'll do a couple honorable mentions. I think George Kittle would be electric, and Andy Reid would be electric.
He would be, yeah. Andy
Reid would not be electric.
I think
Andy Reid would be electric.
boring. No, I think
He would slow up your round. Yeah, I would
I
not.
think it'd be hilarious.
George
give us
Kittle
an
would be
opportunity.
electric, but
You're
George
giving us
Kittle
an
would be
opportunity
crazy.
to have Andy Reid on the podcast. I only say yes for the clout.
Okay.
you know who I would love now? I think he played football. Lee Corso would be a great one too. The college football.
That guy just is off his rocker at this point.
He
That
is,
was
but
sad.
I would love. I know it's really. I hate.
Would he bring
it's really
like
sad.
a headgear? Would he bring headgear out?
Yeah, I want to see him in his headgear. But he was.
He
I used to love.
puts
I
on a
used to
Trevor
love that
Jones
guy.
mask.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus.
Corso. Can't
Yeah,
even,
kind of spitting out a lot of like names.
Yeah, honestly, this is what we do every time with the honorable mentions. But like, I think the ones we picked were pretty good.
they were ones.
Especially if the way the groups were formed.
Yeah.
They're like complimenting.
people
They got. You have to have a group that complements each other. You can't like. I don't know. You can't just like throw a bunch of guys together that like don't have a lot to like. That won't interact.
I think the one thing we messed up on is Shaq and Charles Barkley needed to be in the same group. That's pretty much we had to have that.
Yeah.
They really do.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. If you put together the best of our three, you'd put those two and
I don't know who would
Maybe
like fit
Marshawn.
with
Those
those
two and
Mar-
Marshawn.
I'll say
Maybe yeah.
Marshawn, Bill Walton, or Peyton Manning. I think one
Oh,
of
Bill
those.
Walton.
Bill Walton would be so funny.
I don't think Peyton Manning would fit.
Dude, Peyton Manning's hilarious though. He's
He is,
such
but
a
I don't know
funny
if he'd
guy.
fit with
He
Charles.
probably, he
Yeah.
probably wouldn't, but him and like
I mean, I get Peyton Manning could go for
by
anyone.
Bill Walton. You could go with anyone. He can go with Shaq and have a good time, like with Shaq and Charles Barkley. He'd probably make fun of Charles Barkley a lot too.
I would think
Apparently, the
Marshawn
Manning brothers are huge pranksters.
Peyton definitely sounds like a prankster.
Apparently, Eli.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's gonna do it for the part 3. We're looking forward to the waste management this weekend, and we also have a giveaway coming up with Amp Caddy. Of course, got to follow us on Instagram to unlock that giveaway. We're gonna do it we haven't decided the follower count we're gonna do it at yet, but right now we're at around 400. So keep on following. That'll come soon. Also follow us on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, all of them. Other than that, I don't think there's anything else to say. So, yeah.
Later.
Guess we'll end it on that.
I didn't know what to say.
What do you usually say?
I don't know. I had to pause. I was like, what do I usually say?
You're like so frozen on the screen too.
I was
You're
like,
just like
anyway, we'll see you next week.
yeah.